Jonas, the heat transition is a massive challenge and we have to accelerate the decarbonization. Solutions are available, I think, but there is also a difficulty to bring them to market and to make sure that everything works smoothly together. So how do you see the opportunities? How do you see perhaps also the impact of bringing different sectors together?
I think this is one of the things that excites me the most. I think we have a massive opportunity in, as you said, coupling sectors together that we have traditionally been thinking in silos. And now we are talking much more about how we use waste heat from a data center, pulling that into the district energy network, distributing to the local community, how data centers also take responsibility in that part. A very concrete example is that we are working on a hospital where the hospital has both a heating and a cooling need. We have a heat pump integrated there with one of our partners. They control the heating and cooling load, obviously, in the hospital. We are then distributing that when the heat is not needed at the hospital to the district energy network. So this is a perfect example of how we can think otherwise traditionally separated sectors into one. And I think that's a massive benefit and opportunity for the future.
And does that happen already, or where are the challenges that you would see here?
We see it more and more, and I think the technology is there. I think it's pretty simple technology that we have used for decades, but where I see a lot of complexity is often on the commercial part. How do you make the right agreement with a slaughter facility to recover the waste heat there? How do you make sure that you have the return on invest so that you don't lose that heat demand in 5 years or heat supply in 5 or 10 years? So that commercial agreement, that is something that we're also trying to help our partners with to roll that out even faster.
And how do you see this from the perspective of a utility? Because I guess for utilities it's difficult probably to integrate so many different heat sources where you have to optimize them and also provide some flexibility, I guess. So.
And that's another, I think, really exciting part is that you have, traditionally we had one heat supply pumping out hot water to the entire network. Now we have multiple sources in the network. And how you then operate. How do you know when you should operate your heat pump over your biomass plant? How do you know when the thermal storage is full or low, and which part of the network should you, or which source should you actually supply this thermal storage with heat? That's the one side of it. And then the other side is how does that then match into the flexibility market with volatile electrical prices? And so on. And here we have a quite exciting tool where you can do your heat planning in the tool, so you can tap in all of the information, and then it makes the optimal plan. But then at the same time, in the digital twin of the network, you can see how this actually does that actually work in real life. So that you don't just make a silo thinking in the production planning, and then you don't know what the consequences of your customers. Here you actually check, how does this plan look like in terms of the digital twin, and then the digital twin feeds back information to the production plan to optimize the production plan, and then you can press go and you have a fully optimized system that either on CO2 or price you optimize your full production planning.
Potential, yeah. So really supporting the utilities and supporting also the customers in their efforts to decarbonize, making it as simple as possible.
Exactly.
Thanks, Jonas.